Hello and welcome back to my channel. Waiting for Google Earth to boot up. Here we are in the middle of downtown Taipei. I've been speaking for a long time. Today, been talking a lot. Of course, the reason why I want to bring you here is to address some issues about the Richat structure. A lot of you have been saying there's no evidence anymore, but now we're looking at a whole different new ball game. I want everybody to understand there are definitely 100% megalithic structures that were made in ancient history on the Richats regarding water. And as you can see, this eye structure remains isolated between two floodplains of sand. This is a mountain, the brown of the eye, and the lid of the eye is a river, an ancient river. There was water up against here. There was water up against this edge right here. And there was a canal that led straight down to this side, leading water to wherever. Probably filling this up because I feel like there's a shoreline inside this eye, as well as a shoreline across here. When it comes to ancient shorelines, I can show you some major flood catastrophe action going straight through here. Now they're saying that the Grand Canyon was created much more recently than, and I'm sorry, I said that wrong, much more quickly than originally thought. Now we're saying that the type of geology that we should be studying isn't slow geology that happened over millions of years, but certain things that happened in the last thousands of years that changed the landscape. And now we can see from the research done by Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson, in addition to previous geologists such as Robert Schoch, going back all the way to Shaw. And we now know that the civilizations that existed in the North American area even 20,000 years ago, before the so-called land bridge crossers came. So we have to also take a look at the possible flood patterns of the Sahara Desert. Now we're discovering ancient civilizations, ancient castles, ancient lands, homesteads that people abandoned. This is a shoreline. We can go 3D with this, luckily. And when you look at this, you can see how the water tore that away and created that escarpment. When you look at the shoreline, you realize that there was a big, huge lake here on the north side. Now, I'm not saying that that's a megalithic evidence, but what I do want to show you is the one canal that leads from this. Okay, I passed it already. I'm going to back up. Now, I believe that this whole shoreline is practically man-made. We've got double and triple shorelines in here, especially up here. So when we get over here at the top end, we can see there was an ancient body of water that created these shorelines. There's one here. Over here, there's several. This is much higher than down here. I say this was a shoreline. And this ancient shoreline went down and it created this canal that went down to the other side of the Richat structure. Let me find out how long that canal is. I guess when you measure stuff, it goes to 2D. Okay, from here to here. How long is that? And it's perfectly straight. Now, there's a lot of other things going on in this area. But what I really care about is not... Just let me say that this whole area was a lead-in to that, coming around the mountains. These are much higher than over here. So this is the mountains, and it's going up about 1,000 feet more higher than especially the lowest part. So I've already talked about these dams. I'm just going to do a quick run over. So at all points, we've got a canal that takes water, and I checked the topography. I'm going to show you right now the topography. What you see here is the red part is the mountains, and of course this is the highest point at 1857. Over here, about 1,600 feet. It's a little bit lower, but it's about the same. But what you do see here is this canal that I just showed you, which is right there, coming across the mountains, cutting through the mountains, and getting to the other side and bringing water to this side where you see green right there, 1,100 feet. So you're getting water to the other side here. That's a major need if you want to get water to the Richat, because there's no other place. Oh wait, maybe there is, and that's right there. Take a look at this one right here. What you see here is a water area on the north side, and then it cuts through, almost touching right there. And we're going to go back to Google Earth to see it again. Let me close that down and show you right here. Now, when you look there, you're going to specifically see this, which I think is a strike of some type of cosmic impact. But what you also see when you move in here is very straight lines coming from the mountains. Now, by the way, remember this used to be jungle. You've got some kind of landmark here that I never even really looked at. What is that? Just a little mountain, but it's going pretty straight. And then when you keep going straight, it cuts through probably an ancient canal that cut through. I thought it went over there, but now I'm looking and I see that it could have gone over here. Is that a river that cuts over? And now when you get here, you're looking at what's practically a 20-kilometer long canal that's perfectly straight. What's this? Somebody who lives there now. Somebody's mining for minerals. That's mineral mining right there. You have an ancient canal right here. And the thing is it gets to a really straight part. Let me find it. There it is, right there. So that river cuts through to this. Now, don't tell me that that's a natural straight line. So there is a little bit of a weird twisting river right there, probably the natural part from years ago, but then you get this that's going straight across to the other side of the mountain. Let's look at it in the topography right there, from here to there. It's kind of hard to see. It gets a little more detail when we close in on it. So what I'm thinking is that if this is true, and it's just a hypothesis, that a flood had to have torn this place apart, and maybe rain or maybe flooding, if it really got that high, because the height here is 1,870 feet. It's a lot higher than the low parts. When you get to the low parts, you can see it right there, the yellow, 1,500, 1,400, even 1,200 feet. I still think this is an ancient shoreline. Wait, there's more. There's these ancient canals right over here. Let me show you. This is the highest part right here. But what you see is two ancient canals, one here and one over here. I'll go into the map and show you. It's right over here. It's coming down here and jumping over this mountain there. To get over here, how do they do it? Because this used to be an ancient river. And how do they do it? They cut through across in canals. Now the first one is right there. We can measure it. How long is that? It's at least 20 kilometers long. That's not the only one though. And you see a couple of others around here. Is that the other one right there? The other one is here. This is another, what it seems to be, man-made canal. That's 12 kilometers long right there. So you've got two of those. One here and one there. One right next to each other. Where were they going? Well, right to the other side of the mountain where the river was. They cut into these other weird-looking straight lines. I mean, this looks like an ancient straight line here that got all jagged over time. And when I'm talking about a straight line, it starts from one side of the mountain to the other side right there. That's 60 kilometers long. Let's take a look at it. That's a straight line. Now you see several straight lines in here. You can find all sorts of little tiny things. I think sand and flooding covered that area up. So, in addition to other sacred monuments that are already known antiquities of the Richat structure, like, for example, what's located over here, and I kind of should be using the other mapping software for this because the colors here aren't very pretty. But you can come in here and see that there's a henge type structure. It's not a circle, but stones that are 5 meters wide. I mean, you can take a look at it right here with the measuring tape. Let's go from one side. That's 6 meters, but I got a little wide there. 5 meters wide. 1, 2, 3, 4 into a definite henge type structure. There's another one over here. Now those must be old, and I think this is like pre-Andaluvian because it got all messed up by the flood. That one right there, that's like a 7 meter wide thing going on. Let's go for it. Let's go from the one edge of it all the way across. That is almost 7 meters wide. And what is it? We need to get someone down there and to take a look. Thank you and have a nice evening. Good night.